What is going on, you guys? Matitude22 here today, bringing you guys another video. So not a review today. So I was challenged by a fellow YouTuber, El Chombo Custom Dioramas. I hope I said that right. If I didn't say that right, I'm sorry. But challenged me to do a top 10 figures in my collection. Sorry this took me so long to get around to doing this, but I have a lot of figures. So I picked out 10 of my own personal gems. Now this video is not going to be in any kind of order. It's not going to be anything like that. I picked out my 10 favorite figures. I'm just going to show you them to you guys. I'm going to talk about them a little bit, but this is not like any kind of official order. So yeah, let's get right into it. So the first figure I picked was the DC Universe Classics Jonah Hex. Now, I really like this figure a lot. Jonah Hex is one of my favorite DC characters, and let me see, maybe I'll put it right there while I'm talking. You guys can look at it there. All right, I'm just gonna hold it. So, Jonah Hex, one of my favorite DC characters, and there's not a lot of really figures. There you go. I like that angle better. Not a lot of figures to represent Jonah Hex. I mean, he's just a really cool character. And this figure in itself is really cool. He's got the double barrel shotgun. I mean, he's got the revolver. Face sculpt. Look at that face sculpt. So, really cool. Really, really dig this figure a lot. A lot of nice sculpting. A lot of nice paint. A lot of dry brushing. Like I said, this is one of the first DCUC figures I got. So, yeah. I wish he held the guns a little better, but what are you gonna do? But yeah, definitely DC Universe Classics, Jonah Hex, definitely one of my top 10 favorite figures. You guys are gonna notice there's gonna be a lot of DC love in this video. All right, so next figure I picked was last year's. If you watched my top 20 of 2017, yeah. We got the Marvel Legends Gladiator Hulk Build-A-Figure Wave Ares. Oh, jeez. I mean, so much going on with this figure. Like, he's got the big sword, he's got the axe. I mean, he's got the knife, lots of weapons, lots of shading. Really good. Really, really nice figure. Like I said, if you watch that countdown, this guy was definitely on there, and it's no secret why. This is really an incredible figure, and as of this year, we've had a lot of good Marvel Legends figures come out this year. There's been a lot of good ones, but so far nothing has really gripped me the way Ares did, and maybe that's not true. But again, I'm trying not to pick more like this year figures. I'm trying to pick figures that were already in my collection, but really solid figure. So Ares, definitely one of my top 10. If you watched my countdown last year, another figure, no surprise. Or wait, nope. Sorry guys. I'm tripping. This figure actually came out earlier this year. So Power of the Primes, Optimus Prime. Just what a nice looking figure. Looks solid. Really, really G1-esque Optimus Prime. I know we got the Siege Optimus Prime also this year, but I don't, which is nice, but it's not the same size. I really like the size of this Prime. I mean, you open up the chest. If I can, chest is hard to open, which is good because you don't want it to be too loose, but so you open up the chest. Okay, it's inside, but you can see got the leadership, the Prime Spark, the leadership matrix, whatever it's called, something like that. But yeah, so Power of the Primes, Optimus Prime. This is definitely the holy grail of my Transformer collection, and this is one I just kind of every now and then I just kind of like to pick up and look at him. So really, really cool. Don't be surprised if you see this guy in another countdown later on. All right, so keeping it going. We're rolling. We're getting through it. We have Star Wars: The Black Series, Kanan Jarrus. This was kind of for a lot of people, I think this was kind of a sleeper figure in the Black Series line. This was kind of the first Rebels character we got, and especially if you weren't really watching Rebels, you may not have known who this figure is, but this is just really nice figure, nice face sculpt. They really found a way to take the characters from the cartoon and kind of give them a more realistic style. I mean, he comes with his lightsaber, which is a little bent. That tends to happen, but it's a little bent, but you can do. He comes with his blaster, which also looks really cool. I mean, like a lot of detail on the shoulder pads, just in the clothes. Really, really cool figure. Like I said, I think this was a sleeper figure for sure, but I really like this one a lot. Easily my top Star Wars Black Series figure. Yeah, this guy really, really just takes the cake for me. So yeah, Kanan Jarrus. So I guess we're on to what, number 6. Then let's do it, man. Let's got another DC figure. So DC Universe Classics Ares. What else can I say about this? Such a great figure. The level of sculpting and detail on this guy. Again, the paint really awesome. Again, I like figures that kind of have multiple weapons, and this guy does it. So similar to Ares, he's got the big sword and he's got the axe. I mean, face sculpt, just friggin' awesome. And like Jonah Hex, Ares is a character that doesn't often get figures in the DC line. A lot of DC companies, they don't, or a lot of toy companies, they don't make Ares figures. So this is kind of a unique one. Really cool, really, really awesome figure. Easily one of my favorite DC figures, if not one of my favorite figures of all time. So yeah, next spot, DCUC Ares. All right, keeping it rolling, we have Figma Samus. Now, it was really a toss-up between Figma Samus, the Figma Samus, and the Link, but I just like Samus so much. I just like the sleek design. I just like how sleek she looks, how it's sculpted, but not overly sculpted. I mean, posability is through the roof. So many, just handling this figure, there's so much you could do. The blaster looks awesome. We got a lot of awesome accessories. You could get her in so many different poses. This is definitely a figure that's every now and then just fun to pick up and kind of mess around with. Really, really nice, really solid figure. And yeah, she kind of goes for some money on the aftermarket. So definitely, if you could find her for a good price, I really, really recommend this figure a lot. Just solid. Yeah, so number 4, Figma Ares. And I guess kind of keeping the import train rolling, we have Rowena Zora from One Piece. I forget exactly what line this is, but this figure is just amazing. I mean, he holds both his swords really well, and then of course the sword that goes in his mouth, you can fit it in there perfectly. I like how he's got the sheaths right there. Just really solid figure, really posable. I mean, face sculpt really good. Although One Piece isn't one of my favorite animes, and this figure, and I have a lot of imports, I have a lot of anime figures, but just this one, just really incredible. Just despite he's a bit larger, I like that he's a bit larger in scale. He's more of like a 6.5 inch versus a 4 inch, so I kind of like that. Like I said, just the way he holds his swords, the different detail in the swords is really awesome. The posability behind this guy, really solid. I mean, even if you're not a huge fan of One Piece, and if you're just into anime figures, then, so yeah, just really, really solid figure. I think this is actually this. I know this is a knockoff. I got him really cheap, but if you could find this guy on eBay, I highly, highly recommend picking him up. Next figure. Just gotta get them all presentable. So, if you watched my top 10 or my top 20, you'll recognize this figure. So DC Icons Deathstroke. This was my number one figure of the year last year, and no secret why. I mean, the look, the paint, the amount of accessories he comes with, the posability, the playability. There's so many great things with this figure. Like Ares Deathstroke is one of my favorite super villains. He's slash anti-hero. He's kind of an anti-hero, but really dope figure, really awesome figure. I know we got the Revoltech Deathstroke coming out next year, and I didn't get the Mezco one. I kind of regret it. I kind of wish I did, but now he goes for quite a bit on the aftermarket. But definitely DC Icons Deathstroke. Really, really dope figure. And we're coming down. We're coming near the end. This one I got two figures. So I'm kind of cheating, but you kind of had to have. You kind of had to have one with the other. So we have the WWE Elite Dudleys. Feels like forever since we had Dudleys. The Dudleys were always like on people's top 10 lists, top 10 like Mattel wish lists. Surely 9 times out of 10 the Dudleys would be on there. And when Mattel finally gave us Elite Dudleys, they didn't disappoint. Now, the first thing, they were both single carded, so you had to buy both. They did do a 2-pack, but I wanted the Elites just because the extra posability. I mean, just look at face sculpts on point. I like they both don't use the same body. They use different bodies, so it kind of makes them feel different. I mean, the details on the tattoos, like you can see right there, just really solid. Dudleys are in the Hall of Fame now. So these are just really great figures, and now they're not even really with WWE anymore. Well, I think Devon's like a writer, but these are just really awesome figures. And for anybody that missed out on the Elite Dudleys, I feel bad because they were just really, really incredible figures. But this kind of brings us to the end of the list, guys. Again, this wasn't really a countdown. I just picked out my 10 kind of favorite figures. But this next one was really special because it was my first horror figure, but more than my first horror figure, it was just it was when I was still in the early stages of collecting, and I was kind of still discovering stuff and getting into stuff. And when I got this figure, I knew that horror figures by NECA had to become a part of my collection. We got Ultimate Freddy Krueger. I forget which version it is. I think it's the version from the first movie. Just an awesome figure. I mean, the face sculpt, the accessories, look at like the claw, the way all the fingers are kind of sculpted. Incredible, guys. Incredible. I really can't say enough good things about this figure, and this really got me into collecting more like horror figures and movie figures. And NECA at the time, I was only collecting the NECA Predators, and then I remember seeing this figure on the shelf at my comic book store, and I'm just like, man, I gotta get this. I gotta get this, and I'm so happy I did. Just awesome figure. Easily one of my favorites figures in my entire collection. So we have NECA Ultimate Freddy. So that brings us to the end, guys. So yeah, those are 10 of my favorites. Like I said, I have a lot of figures, so it was really hard to kind of think about everything. But those are definitely 10 of my favorite figures, my top 10, if you will. Maybe like could have come up with a couple honorable mentions, but these are the 10 I selected. I stand by it. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hope you guys enjoyed this challenge. Make sure you check out Outchambo Custom Dioramas. I'm gonna link his channel down below, so make sure you go check out his channel. Really awesome dude. He watches a lot of my video. He watches almost all my videos. Always leaves me a comment. So if you're watching this, appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you for letting me be a part of this challenge. And I'm gonna upload this in the afternoon. I will have another figure review coming to you guys later today, so please enjoy the double upload. And I will catch you guys next time. Thank you for watching, and bye.